God, am I just not allowed a freaking break? I told myself that I'd only make a video when the Link Joker Stride comes out, but then it comes out literally the next day, and so I decided, alright, I'll make a video about that later. And then literally 4 more strides come out, and now I have to make videos about those, so fuck my life. Alright then, let's start with the order that these things were released in, because we already talked about Zanbust Dragon, and yes, I'm very sad that I missed the bus joke. I'm going to now kill myself. Let's start off with the one that everyone thought was the absolutely most broken stride in the universe, the Murakumo Stride. Ambush Demon Stealth Beast Ambush Demon Stealth Beast Tigress is a grade 4 Murakumo Stride that says, if it's in the G zone, if you have 5 or more units with the same name and your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, cost Soul Blast 1 and stride this face down card on your Vanguard circle, and for the turn, during the battle where this unit attacks, your opponent can only call from hand to Guardian circle and they must call 5 or more. Also, auto Vanguard circle when it attacks, flip 1 card in your G zone face up, stand all of your rear guard with the same name as one of your other rear guards. And the instant this thing was revealed, people immediately bought out Hyuga because they thought this deck was going to be tier freaking 0. They looked at this, immediately thought it was going to be Ezel 2.0, and immediately bought out the entire stock because they have nothing better to do with their lives. The thing is that you need to realize the following things. First, this card needs you to have 5 or more units with the same name. In other words, it literally only works with Hyuga, or if you're a bad player, you can play Mandala Lord or Shirayuki. Second, even if you play Mandala Lord or Shirayuki, you need to draw 5 copies of the same name, so yeah, that's gonna be completely easy. The second thing is that people realize that you can't Counterblast Starve this because they can just Soul Blast it. First of all, Hyuga needs a Counterblast in order to go off, so that argument is completely irrelevant. All it does is, if you have Counterblast, you can Counterblast 1, call a thing from your deck with Hyuga if you have 4 other rear guards, make everything have the same name, stride it to this, and just go Oonga Boonga Beatstick. This thing's unguardable. So what? It's the early game. You don't have 6 damage. Stop complaining! The thing to restand everything is really kind of scary, but there's a really simple way to stop this. Don't attack the Vanguard and give them no damage. Unless you were living under a Dwayne Johnson, you know that the Murakumo G-Zone sucks. Their first stride, other than this, is literally Shibaraku Victor, and that card is bad. Basically, what I'm saying is this thing has a lot of counters to it, or you could call a Hanali, or you could do literally anything else. This thing is not tier 0, it's not the end of the world, so please, for the love of God, if you bought out Hyuga because you saw this card, you are literally part of the problem. Oh my god, I'm getting way too heated over a freaking tiger. Please give me the next card! And so, we move on to the Link Joker Stride, Star Cloud, Dragon, Barrio, and Dragon. When it's placed, you can flip a card in your G-Zone to remove all markers on your opponent's circles and all protects from their hands, and for each of those cards, this card gets a critical and 10k power. And yes, by the way, if you get rid of Excel circles, you do retire the units on those circles. You know, it really makes me angry that Bushido decided to ban Wonderezel and then made this a card, because I would have really liked to have watched them go off on Wonderezel and then for me to drop this thing and crush their dreams. This card is absolutely fantastically hilarious, and there's no way in hell that I can deny putting one of this in my G-Zone even if it isn't a Starvader. As you all may know, I absolutely adore Chaos Breaker as a deck, and it's my favorite deck in the entire game. This doesn't lock, it doesn't have Starvader in the name, so it really isn't Chaos support, but oh my god, I love this thing, it's so funny. And this was another card that everyone said was broken, but unlike the other one where I could kind of understand the arguments as to why you thought this was broken, this thing, what? Remove mark. You only get 1 marker a turn 90% of the time, so this thing really is only getting rid of 1 marker. Oh, hey, Protect decks are dead. Says who? Oh my lord. The one Protect deck that this does kill is OTT, because they were never playing Perfect Guards in the first place, so yeah, that's a thing you can do. Seriously though, this deck isn't amazing, this really isn't that good, but oh my god, do I adore it regardless. It is funny, I can't wait to rip it on someone, and, oh, please make this a mechanic, Bushiroad. I'm begging you. This card's awesome. And then we get to the Gear Chronicle card. This one has a stride skill, and it also says, at the end of the battle that it attacked, Counterblast 1 and bind 4 rear guards. Put this card into your G-Zone face up. Search your deck for up to 1 grade 3 or greater card. Write it as stand. It gets drive -1 until end of turn. Shuffle your deck. Everybody looked at this and they immediately said, oh my god, it's power creep next stage. You know, I'm really starting to notice a pattern here with people and having over-the-top reactions to any card ever in this set. It's almost like their expectations were that this was going to break premium, and so they're biased in saying that this card breaks premium. Strange. Anyway, this is next stage on first stride, which is kind of okay, but you can also use it with Gear Groovy if that's a thing you want to do, so that's neat, I guess. The instant application that comes to mind is Mystery Flare Dragon, which allows you to, if you have a beefed up bind zone, take another turn, get an extra drive, get power, blah 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 blah, whatever, right? And fueling the bind zone isn't that hard because this card does in fact bind 4 rear guards, so it's not that hard to do. The one thing that everybody absolutely completely forgot about though was that Mystery Flare Dragon makes you discard your hand. if the extra turn loop doesn't work, then you lose the game because you don't have a freaking hand size. You could use this to go into new next stage, but why would you do that? It's not that good. What? Look, I understand that that's a fun little thing you can do, but I still think History Build is a better first stride, so yeah, this card's pretty niche, pretty interesting. I'd play one at most. Next! And then we move on to Royal Paladin Stride, Holy Dragon, Crystal Luster Dragon. This card says, cost, flip a unit in your G-Zone, and for the rest of the turn, this card gains the original abilities of one of your heart cards. It's also, I think, the first stride in the entirety of the Premium Collection history to have a Generation Break ability.
Please clap.
If you have 3 or more grade 2 or greater units, when your opponent would call from hand to Guardian Circle, they must call 3 or more. The first thing that immediately comes to mind on first stride is Messianic Lord Blaster with this guy in order to easily get 6 crit, which, again, is kind of killed if they have a perfect guard. Yeah, no, it's not that amazing, but it's pretty good, and I see this working really well with Majesty Lord Blaster when you eventually get that. We did get a Wingle Brave retrain, which searches out Blaster stuff, so the consistency is pretty good, so yeah, for a card like that, I think this works for the Majesty Lord Blaster deck. The thing is that I immediately thought that this would work absolutely amazing with the brand new VR Alt Mile, which means that my idea in one of my previous videos, that we can make a premium deck using Alt Mile and some generic strides, is further reinforced by this card's existence. That GB3, though, that's a game ender right there, so yeah, this card's pretty darn amazing, no doubt about that. It's not going to break Royal Paladin like Morfessa did for Shadows, but it's certainly going to put him on the map. And then we get to the 2 reveals that happened yesterday as of this recording, the Nova Grappler Stride and the Great Nature Stride. Variant Dragon King Asdeb... What is with these strides and having literally the worst names in existence? When it attacks, counterblast 1, flip a card in your G-Zone, stand all of your rear guards in the front row, and for each unit stood, this guy gets 5k for the battle. That's it. That's the entire effect. That is literally the entire effect. Why, Bushy? Why is this card so bad? Like, it works with God Hand, but no one was really playing God Hand anyway. They were all playing Victor. Like, maybe this will make God Hand a thing. I don't know. I don't play Nova Grappler. I just know that this is incredibly underwhelming and... Oh, God, who am I kidding? This card's freaking awful. And finally, we have the Great Nature Stride. Omniscience Dragon Chip to... Winged Unicorn Boy. He says that on your Vanguard Circle, when your card is put into your drop zone from rear guard or from your deck, you can put that card on the bottom of your deck. Auto on Vanguard Circle, when your rear guard attacks, costs Soul Blast 1, flip 1 card in the G-Zone face up, and that unit gains 5k power for each face-up card in your G-Zone, and at the end of the battle, retire that unit. This guy is Victor, but for Great Nature, and I love it oh so very much. The ability to put things that are put from the deck or the rear guard into the drop zone back on the bottom of your deck is... Oh my lord, this is amazing. This card literally fixes one of Great Nature's biggest problems, and that is they run out of cards way too bloody fast. This is recursion. This is exactly the kind of skill they needed. And not only that, but when your rear guard attacks, as long as you have Soul, you can keep flipping your G-Zone face up and giving them power, making them bigger, turboing to GB8, which, by the way, may I mention, is not once per turn. This is just an all-around good card. I don't know enough about Great Nature to think of any stupid, broken, degenerate loops, but I can certainly tell you that a certain teammate friend of mine is going to eat the hell out of this card and adore it. As of recording, tomorrow we'll be getting the Dimension Police Stride, which I will probably not be making a video on because I don't care about D-Police, unless it's meta-breaking and destroys the game in some way. But yeah, we did it. We covered 6 strides in one video. We did it, everybody. We did it, Reddit. I'm so proud of myself. Patreon is over there. To subscribe, like, comment,